Hello people and happy Sunday. It's Gino here once again from Real Everyday English, and I'm back with my weekly vocabulary building video to help people improve their English. But before we get into the nitty gritty of today's video, I would like to take a minute to wish all of my subscribers a very Merry Christmas. That's if you celebrate Christmas. If not, then fair enough. Merry Christmas anyway. And I would also like to wish all my subscribers a very happy new year. This is a time of year when people like to reflect on the year gone by and set their targets for the year to come, which are called New Year's resolutions. I have 3 in mind for myself. Number 1, I want to continue my journey towards Spanish fluency, which I'm not quite sure if I'll be fluent by the end of the year, but I certainly can improve. Number 2 is I don't want to miss one single day of meditation. I've been meditating for quite a while and it's had some amazing effects in my life and in my outlook. So I want to continue with that. And number 3 is I want to compete in as many running races as I possibly can. What New Year's resolutions do you have for the year coming? Please let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to read them and know what my subscribers are up to this year. Okay, so let's get on with the nitty gritty. Today's video topic is the word to pull. Now, pull is a verb and the literal definition of the word is to exert force on something or someone to pull it closer to oneself. That is the dictionary definition. You can pull someone's t-shirt, you can pull a rope, you can pull your hair, although I haven't got any. You can pull your ear. So that is to pull. In the literal sense, it means to pull. It's the opposite of push. To push is to push away. To pull is to pull something in towards oneself. Having said that, this is English. So as you know, we use the word plenty in plenty other situations which you may not have considered. So I'm going to try to cover some of them right now. Not them all, because I'd be here all day, but I'm going to cover some of them. So let's get onwards and in with it. Let's go. Okay, so for this week's first example, we use the word to pull in 3 situations when driving a car. As you can see, I'm sat in my car and we are currently parked at the side of the road. So the first example we use the word to pull with regard to driving is to pull off. So I'm parked at the side of the road and as I start to move and drive away, we describe this action as to pull off. So I am now pulling off in my car and starting to drive. Another way in which we use the word to pull with regard to driving is to pull over, which is the opposite of pull off. So as I'm driving down the road, if I need to pull over, I pull over to the side of the street and park up. And that is to pull over. We also use this term as in when somebody gets pulled over by the police. So if the police come behind you and start flashing their lights, it means pull over, and this is what it means, is to pull over to the side of the road. The third way in which we use the word to pull when driving is to pull out. So you can see I am approaching a main road, and as I approach the road, I have to stop and give way. And when the road is clear, I can then pull out onto the main road, and this is to pull out. You can also use this phrase to describe when somebody pulls out in front of you from the side street. So if I was driving along and somebody drove out from the side street in front of me, I would say they pulled out on me. Another way in which we use the word to pull is to pull someone up. And this phrasal verb means when somebody is doing something that you do not like or you do not agree with, then you pull them up on it. So, for example, I could pull someone up on dropping litter outside my house. I could pull someone up on leaving a mess at my desk in the office. I can pull someone up lying to me. I can pull someone up on stealing my things. When somebody does something that you don't like or you disagree with, then you pull them up on that particular thing. I hope you understand. We can also use the word pull to describe pulling something up on a screen, for example. So if I take my cursor and click this button here, I can pull up YouTube. So I'm pulling up YouTube. I can then shut it down. I can pull up a document. And that goes for anything that you're making appear on the screen. So I can pull up an email, I can pull up a photograph, I can pull up the internet, I can pull up anything that displays onto the screen. Okay, so the next example is to pull a muscle. So a lot of times you'll hear people describing that they've pulled a muscle or they've pulled something. Here in this particular area of England, in Manchester, in Wigan, we quite oftentimes, if you see somebody clearly in pain or there's something wrong with them and you'll say, what's wrong? You'll ask them, you know, what's wrong? Have you hurt yourself? Oh, I think I've pulled something. And what they mean is they think they've pulled a muscle. And to pull a muscle means to, when you're exercising or training or doing something and you get that feeling in the muscle that you can't continue, that is to pull a muscle. And it's a very common phrase here in England. Another way we like to use the word pull is to describe no longer having involvement in something. So, for example, a boxer who's been training for a fight, he's ready for the fight, he gets injured and he has to pull out of the fight. A football team can pull out of a match. You can also use this term in business, in a business sense. You can pull out of a business deal. You can pull out of a negotiation. We also use it in a military term. So we pull out of the operations, and that is to no longer take involvement in that particular thing, is to pull out. Okay, so I've got two more examples I'd like to go through with you today, and one of them is to the phrase pull through. And what pull through means in this context is it means to survive something or to get through something and come out stronger or whatever. So, for example, you might hear someone saying, you know, oh, my granddad's in hospital, he isn't too well, but I'm sure he'll pull through. And that's what it means. It means to pull through something and come out the other side and survive it. That's what it means, to pull through. And last but not least for this week, is to pull something off. Now, this means to achieve something. So, for example, I'll use the boxer thing again. So there's a boxer, he's going for a fight, and absolutely nobody thinks he's going to win the fight. But somehow he manages to pull it off. He pulled it off. Another example would be, I'm hoping to reach more people through this YouTube channel and gain more subscribers and help more people with their English. And I'm sure that I can pull that off. So that's to pull it off, is to achieve something. Okie dokie, that's it for this week's video, guys. I hope you learned some new vocabulary. I hope that you've learned something that you can use in your future English conversations. Please feel free to leave your comments. Let me know. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. And I'll see you all in the new year on the next video. And have a great day. Bye bye, guys. Bye.